Hello everybody, Big Beardy back again with another video. I'm just sat in the van at the moment, enjoying a coffee. Oh, that's nice. And waiting for the day to really start. I look awful. I just noticed myself in the camera. Look at all this. Don't like this. I usually have it all shaved. But anyway, let's move on. So we're talking about something quite important today. And will hopefully help some of you guys out there change maybe the way you're doing things. And it is how to stop getting bad reviews. Now, bad reviews, I'm going to use the CX for my example and reviews because CX has a review system. But this sort of applies to everything, be it on the CX, be it your own work, be it your own customers, be it through another, app or website like the CX. This applies for all that because if you're getting bad reviews on the CX, you're going to transfer that onto every job. You're doing something wrong. If you've got the odd one, fair enough. Sometimes jobs go wrong. Sometimes the shipper's having a bad day and just thinks, screw this guy. He didn't do what I want him to do. And some of you might have got bad reviews from being new to the industry, but saying I'm new and being a bit naive, you can only use that for so long, and it still doesn't change the fact you've got bad reviews. So hopefully this will be a bit of information to stop you getting those bad reviews. And, the less bad reviews we get, the more trust there is in what we're doing. There's more, what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence in our industry. And the more confidence there is, the more work will come our way. The more work that comes away, the more we will make money. So this is sort of one of those videos to sort of hopefully lift everyone up a little bit. So if you're going into a customer, you have to be aware of you're running a business. I've said this a million times on videos, and I'll say it a million times more. You're trying to run a business, so you've got to go in. You've got to be polite. You've got to be courteous. You've got to be professional. That's the three main things. If you go in and off all three of those things, you're not going to get a bad review. You're going to get a good review. If you're going into a business, you look scraggly, you've got a ripped shirt and you're not wearing the right gear and you haven't got the right gear in the van's dirty, straight away, bad impression. It's not going to help. If you're walking in there and you're talking to people in a manner that isn't professional, you might walk up to the first bloke who's at a warehouse or whatever and be, all right, mate, I'm here to pick up that bloody pallet, blah, 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 blah. If you're like that, that could be the owner of the company for all you know. You've got to go up and you've got to be professional. You've got to, mind your P's and Q's. You've got to talk to people with respect and, just have that professionalism about you because that will shine on what you're doing. Another thing is, I've been at sites where I've been next to another driver, another courier on the courier exchange. We've both got there roughly the same time. And we've both been told we're going to be waiting an hour. The stuff isn't ready. He went off on one. I can't remember his name, and I wouldn't say it if I did, but he went off on one. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake, I've been waiting for this bloody pallet. What the hell's going on? I didn't. I sat in my van. I said, that's fine. Let me know when it's ready. We'll get sorted. Now, after all that, we got loaded and left. Now, guaranteed, there were 2 phone calls made after we got told that we're going to have to wait an hour. One was probably from the customer talking to the shipper, telling the shipper that the bloke who's kicking off, don't send him again. He's a pain in the ass. And the second phone call was probably from me, phoning the shipper going, listen, there's an issue. It's going to be an hour, which is fine. I don't mind waiting, but I do charge waiting times. Why get stressed about a situation like that? Why kick off? You've got to try and be as accommodating as possible because at the end of the day, I didn't kick off because I knew I was going to get paid for waiting. He kicked off because he wanted to get done. He wanted to get on. He wanted to get on with the job. He wasn't thinking about the job as a whole. He was just thinking about what he wanted to do. That's not the attitude you need to have. If you go into a place, you're polite, you're courteous, you're professional, and you go in with the right attitude, and if a problem comes up, you don't try and make the problem worse. You try and work with the people to solve the problem and get the job done. It will shine on you on a much better light. Shippers want you to go, you're representing them. So if you're going into and that's the way you got to think, I'm representing this person. Think how you would want someone to represent you. If I sent someone into a job and they started kicking off, then what do you think the shipper's going to think? I'm not going to use you again. No, bugger off, bad review. the next part, obviously, you've got loaded, you've got out there, you've done everything right, you've been polite, you've been courteous, you've got everything done, you're on your journey. This is where you could slip, people might get bad reviews again. And that will be because some people go and co-load. Don't co-load unless you've arranged it with both shippers. Shippers hate people that bugger off and co-load when they haven't even spoke to them. You're meant to be doing their job. That's the way they think of it. I've hired you to do my job, not this other person's job. If you want to do that other person's job, you phone me and confirm it with me. Speak to the shippers. And a lot of the time they say, yeah, that's fine. You got till 5. As long as you're there by this time, I don't care what you do in between. Just make sure you're there on time. So by co-loading, and if you're 3 hours away from, it's a 3-hour journey, and you take 6 hours, a shipper's going to be wondering, why is it taking you so long? If you sat and had an hour and a half lunch break, and then thought, oh, I've just driven past a rather nice building or whatever, and going to have a look at that for an hour, they're going to get pissed off. Get there in good time. Now, there are situations, obviously, traffic and stuff like that will delay you. They understand, they work in the industry. But if you're taking the piss, they will know you're taking the piss. So be aware of that. Get there in good time. Same at the other end. Be professional, be courteous, get unloaded. There's a lot to be said about how you approach people and leaving that impression. If you walk into a place, sorry, I got frog in my throat. If you walk into a place and you look like you've just been smacked with a frying pan, and you're all grumpy, and you're like, oh man, you look like you're chewing a wasp, they're gonna remember that. They're not gonna think, oh, this dude's cheerful. If you walk into a place, all you got to do, and it's all I do, have a big smile on your face, make eye contact. You all right, mate? How you doing? I'm not talking about it. I'm just asking how you are. Customers remember that. Doesn't matter if it's the small, the janitor at a place or the boss of the place. They're going to remember, oh yeah, he came in. Because the shippers will phone the customer and go, how was he? What happened? He went, oh, he was lovely. Came in, we had a nice little chat. We got him loaded. We had a little bit of waiting time, but he was all right with that. Got him loaded, got him on his way. That's a good review. You're going to get a tick. If you walk in, all right, mate, I'm here to pick up this bloody pallet, and then they go, oh, it's going to be 20 minutes. Oh, for fuck's sake, I've got to wait 20 minutes for this. They're going to be like, phone the shipper. Don't send him again. Bad review. There are, unfortunately, a lot of people in our industry, and it's the same with a lot of industries like the building trade and stuff like that are cowboys. They don't give a shit. They will drive into a place, they will look like shit. They're not getting paid a lot, because the only reason they've got the job is because they've gone super cheap and it needs to be done. They don't give a crap about the customer. They don't strap the load down properly. They break stuff. They get to the other end, they unload it, and then they complain. And they're getting bad reviews or not getting any more work. It's because you're doing the job shit. All right? So, if you go and do everything properly, you're going to get good reviews. You're not going to get, I haven't checked in the last week or so, but as far as I'm aware, I haven't got a single bad review. And I never have, and I'm hoping I never will. There are situations where things will go wrong. And there are situations, if your van breaks down, maybe a shipper will give you a bad review because your van wasn't in working order. Sometimes you can't help it, but they generally understand why that might happen. So if you're new to the industry, or if you're looking to get into the industry, or if you've got a couple of bad reviews and you're still trying to just change something, especially if you've got a couple of bad, if you've got one and it was you know what happened and you realise what the problem is, that's fine. But if you're getting bad reviews, you're doing something wrong. And you might not want to hear that, but you are. Because you're getting bad reviews. There are hundreds and hundreds of guys out there working every day, never get a bad review. Because they're doing the right things. They're being polite. They're being courteous. They're being professional. They're strapping the loads down. They're getting to the jobs in good, timely fashion. They're polite. They talk to the people when they get to the place, and they're cheerful. If there's a problem, they solve the problem with the customer and the shipper rather than complaining and bitching about it. If you're not accommodating, you're going to get bad reviews. So if you have got a couple of bad reviews, think about the jobs you did and why you got the bad reviews and how you need to change it. Think about the way you're presenting yourself, because you are presenting yourself. That's your business. You're there on behalf of someone else, but take some pride in your work. I want people to get better at doing this. When I started the industry, there was no information. There was like one person on YouTube talking about it, and there was no information out there. But it didn't take long for me to figure out, if I act right, if I do the job well, I'm going to do well. And that's how everyone should be thinking. So I hope this helps some of you guys out there. It's a bit of a miserable day today, but hopefully the sun will get out later. And as always, please be safe and have a great day.